Hello, Democratic Party of Evanston. I'm Leni Manaa-Hoppenworth. Thank you for this opportunity to connect with you. Democracy doesn't run on fancy mailers or yard signs. It runs on people who show up, people like you, people who knock doors, people who organize. I want to share who I am because it shapes how I do this work. I'm a 26-year resident of the 9th Congressional District. I'm a mom of 3. I'm a proud member of the LGBTQ plus community. I'm a small business owner and a healthcare worker. I serve as the Cook County Democratic Committee person for the 48th Ward in Chicago. I'm also the first Filipino elected to Chicago City Council, representing the 48th on the lakefront, one of the most diverse wards in the city across race, class, and ethnicity. These aren't just titles. These are lived experience. They ground me in equity, collaboration, and solidarity, especially with people who are too often pushed to the margins. They remind me to listen first, build together, and make sure the people most affected have a real voice. I believe deeply in this party, and I think we need to be honest. Between 2020 and 2024, many Democrats didn't leave our values. They felt unheard. They voted locally. They showed up when it mattered. Then many stepped back, not because they don't care, but because life stayed expensive and stressful. Rent went up. Childcare stayed hard. Healthcare stayed confusing. That's not a voter problem. It's a party building problem. And for far too long, we treated turnout like a moment instead of a relationship. Recently, I met a young couple in the district who told me they love their neighborhood and they want to stay. But between rising taxes, higher grocery bills, and the cost of childcare, they're worried they're being priced out of the life that they're trying to build. Then they asked me something else. They wanted to know what Democrats are going to do to protect their neighbors from an immigration system that feels like it operates with impunity, where ICE can act without real accountability, tearing families apart and treating people like targets instead of neighbors. They were angry. Angry that people live with the fear of being taken from their homes or workplaces. Angry that enforcement can escalate without transparency, without oversight, and with devastating consequences, including senseless loss of life. They weren't asking for talking points. They were asking whether anyone had their back. That conversation is why now matters. If we want to win in 2028, we don't start in the summer of 2028. We start now. Here's the good news. We know what works. Democrats do better when help shows up in daily life, when leaders are clear about whose side they're on, and when engagement doesn't end after Election Day. When organizing happens year round and relationships come before votes. People don't expect perfection. They expect honesty and follow through. Imagine a party where people don't just hear from us every 4 years, but see us every year as a part of the fabric of their daily lives, at schools, union halls, and community meetings, building trust long before we ask for votes. Democracy doesn't live only at the top of the ballot. It lives in every race, Congress, county board, and school board. Every role shapes real decisions, money, services, rules, and who gets heard. When people stay engaged up and down the ballot, democracy is stronger. When they disengage, decisions still get made, just without them. That's why the State Central Committee matters. It's where we decide whether we build a real candidate pipeline, whether organizing continues between elections, and whether new voters are welcomed or overlooked. This role helps determine whether the party grows or shrinks. When elected, I'll focus on three things. First, staying connected. Listening year-round, not just during campaigns. Second, keeping our story straight. County, state, and national Democrats reinforcing each other. Third, showing respect. Organizers, volunteers, and voters being heard, not just managed or ignored. And no matter who holds this seat, we all have a role in keeping people engaged between elections. That's how we bring people back. That's how we rebuild trust. And that's how we win. I'm not running against anyone. I'm running for a party that grows by addition, organizes year-round, and shares power. I'm Leni Manaa-Hoppenworth, and I'm asking you, the Democratic Party of Evanston, for your endorsement as a partnership, a signal that we believe in a party that listens, includes, and delivers, a party that shows up every race, every year, for every neighbor.